we will talk about the computer vision. And pattern identification. Whenever we are talking about the computer vision, so we try to know that how computer can see. In other words, we are retrieving the data which has been captured by camera, then we are retrieving, we are restoring the data, or we can also use the word reconstruction with the help of computing. And once we do reconstruction, then certain level of modification can be performed in images or in videos, because videos are what? These kind of the multi-frames of the images. If you are talking about the modification in videos, again you want to say some modification in the images, because each frame of the video is representing one image.
One image, yes, sir.
So again, basic thing is image alteration, modification, okay, and what kind of pattern is existing in these images, we are trying to identify it. So all this course will go around it. If we see at the first place how image can be captured, for example, there is some object and it is illuminated with sun energy or any kind of energy, because electric bulb is also kind of source of energy which can illuminate some objects. Because if there is a dark, okay, midnight, we cannot see.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, with the help of camera, we cannot capture any image.
Yes.
So because no object is illuminated with any source of energy. But after turning on the light bulb, we can capture the image. So how it works, because image is illuminating with some source of energy, then light reflects from that object to the camera aperture, and there is some kind of a CCD, charge coupled device. The pattern of charge coupled device is partitioned in this way: square blocks, no rectangular blocks, no circular blocks. Remember, square blocks. Okay, length and width of each square is similar, because we are applying the integral. Our integral is telling us what? Sum up the information in reconstruction phase. So then we can determine the output in form of our required data. Okay, reconstruction phase. Let's see one. Okay, of course. This is the pattern of the CCD, charge coupled device. Okay, but it's very minute in its size.
Yes.
Okay, very small size chip. So energy is approaching to it from some object, then stored it, okay, or you can say triggered the cell. Each cell, okay, this one is the 1, 2, 3, okay, you can say number of cells. If the light reflect from some source, some object, and the color of object is black, okay, the amount of light reflected from this black, for example, this pen is a black color, amount of light reflected from this black color to this cell is how much? Almost negligible. Why? Because due to its blackness, almost all intensity of light is absorbed by there. So the intensity reached to this cell is almost negligible, so its value is near to zero. If we are talking about the gray image. If light, for example, this one is somewhere, okay, white color, in its center, the word Canon is written, in its surrounding black color. From black, no light will be reflected. Most of the part of light will be absorbed by it.
Yes.
From the white part, light will be reflected somewhere here. Okay, the center, the white intensity of light will be reached. So its value may be near to 255 or maybe 200 whatsoever.
Yes.
In this way, we usually say pixel is also known as intensity. Sometimes we say what's the pixel intensity? Means what's the intensity of light basically.
Yes.
Are you getting this concept? Yes, please.
सर ये जो 255 या 200 जो है सर ये किस चीज की वैल्यू है?
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, some mathematicians decided that how many maximum shades of any color can be considered in order to observe the perception, okay, some kind of a variation in the pattern of some color. So, okay, for example, if you are talking about gray image, in gray you cannot consider red or other color. You consider black, variation from black to white. So how many shades possible which can be rectified by normal human eye? There are 256 shades. 256 shades. 0 represent black and 255 represent white. So somewhere, for example, 185 representing not exactly black, not exactly white, somewhere some kind of almost gray color. Are you getting my point? So this is the shade. Many shades of, okay, for example, this one is kind of a gray, okay, color, okay, not exact black, not exact white. So basically 256 represent 256 shades variation from black to white. Are you getting the point? Thank you so much. So this CCD basically is similar like a photovoltaic cell, like you can say solar cell. Solar cell, what do light intensity is reached not from the any object, even you can say from some sun, okay, and this energy, basically its intensity of light is too much and directly transformed into form of a electric, okay, current. So, but you can say in the dark when there are clouds, your solar cell will not work promptly. So intensity is almost near to 0. Yes, please.
सर आपने कहा ये 256 हमारे पास शेड्स है ना?
Yes.
और हमारे पास जो ये शेड्स हम जो कंसीडर करते हैं ये RGB के थ्रू कर सकते हैं ना? ब्लू।
Yes.
तो ये उसकी पॉसिबिलिटी से ये आ रही है, यानी ये ज़्यादा भी हो सकती है सर?
No. Okay, the RGB, basically red, green, blue. If you are talking about the red, then 256 shades of the red.
Yes sir.
Too much red, very dull color, or almost negligible red.
अच्छा सर.
Similarly, 256 shades of green, 256 shades of blue.
सही है सर.
Are you getting the point? So here we are talking about, if we are talking about the gray, this means we are talking about the, okay, black to white variation. Here this is the, you can say, once 0 means black, okay? So even in the red, even in the green, even in the blue. In all the cases, 0 means black, okay? But in the case of this 256 case of red, you can say very much, okay, clear cut red color, very sharp red color. Otherwise, if you are diminishing the scale or, okay, shades of red, you can get the 256 variation of red color.
Yes sir, सही है.
Okay? Yes, please.
ये जो हम कलर की वेरिएशन बात कर रहे हैं 0 to 255 या टोटल 256 शेड्स हैं, तो ये 256 शेड्स से ज़्यादा नहीं हो सकते?
Yeah, this is, Atif already asked a question, wonderful question from your side also. Because in order to, okay, distinguish the levels of variation, the levels of shades, which can be distinguished or which can be noticed by normal human eye. So this is the variation. Of course, you can increase them, okay, if you want to work on the very
एक हम तो
smart.
कंप्यूटर विजन की बात कर रहे हैं ना, कंप्यूटर के लिए तो ये कोई मान ही नहीं रहती कि ये
Yeah.
256 है या उसको विजिबल है कि नहीं, उसको तो सारी रेंज विजिबल है.
In this situation, you can partition, okay, there are the scale double or for example 1.1, 1.2, okay, you can partition, are you getting my point? There are different scales in, but usually they consider the integer values to store the energy. Okay, once you are capturing with the, see, if, please try to understand, if you are observing the sun in, okay, broad daylight, can you see the sun?
No.
Your eyes, okay, will not be comfort in order to observe the sun.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but at night you can observe the moon.
Yes.
Somehow pattern inside of it. So, okay, your eyes can see the image of moon in somehow, or observation of the moon in somehow comfortable way. So limit. Similarly, in the camera, there is some certain level of limits. Yes, due to advancement, you can increase the pattern, but till now, it is some kind of a benchmark variations. Okay, are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So, of course, you can increase, you can double, triple, but this, okay, you can partition in the shade into the further level, but already happened in the, okay, decimal values, some double values there are, okay, you can ACI language, computing language, but still usually they are categorized in the 256 shades for kind of a benchmark thing, computing society are playing with it, or maybe somewhere ACI language 2, okay, somehow 8 power binary data you are observing it somewhere, many formulae, okay, are you getting my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is some kind of a benchmark thing. So as I was telling about the solar cell is also performing the similar kind of operation, but he could not observe some object data. Basically, if there is okay diminishing in the power of intensity of light, no current will be generated, little current will be generated, but in maximum broad daylight, maximum output will be generated. But again, there is a limit. Even the hot summer, your solar will not give you the maximum output, okay? There is some limit.
Yes, sir.